Hey guys, welcome back to the video. Today I finally want to cover the selling process of the 2019 Genesis G70 to Vroom, how the process went and everything like that, because as you guys know, a couple months ago I did the final farewell and ownership experience video on that car, and I say that we were selling it to Vroom, so I kind of just want to cover how the process goes, how our experience went, and some of the factors that went into determining why we sold to Vroom instead of some of the other competitors on the market. So starting off, you guys have probably heard of Vroom, but if not, it's essentially an online car buying or car dealership or car facilitating process. Very much so like Carvana, except Vroom does not have any real retail hubs around the country like some Carvana locations do. But they basically are an online facilitator, so where you can go online, buy a car, and have it delivered straight to your house. And in the same fashion, have a car sold directly from your house, picked up and paid cash a day or two later. So that is Vroom in a nutshell. There's definitely a ton of information out there. So if you guys want some more information on how Vroom works, I would definitely recommend Googling it. But anyways, let's go ahead and talk about the process and our experience of selling the 2019 Genesis G70. So let's first go over the process of selling your car to Vroom and what the steps are. Good thing I have these handy notes here because this has been a few months since we have done this, but these notes cover it very well and I'm glad I took them. Anyways, the first thing you want to do is go to Vroom's website and get an appraisal on your car. You can do this by either entering the VIN or the license plate number, and it'll go ahead and pull up the VIN that way. Go ahead and select all your options and the correct condition the vehicle is in and everything like that, so you get an accurate offer. So once you guys do that, that is where you get the number that you can go ahead and accept or just basically wait on, and I think gives you up to, I can't remember if it's up to a week or just a couple of days to accept that offer if you choose to just save it. So once you guys accept that number from Vroom, things start to get a little busier because the process isn't like going to a Carvana location and getting a check on the spot. There is a little bit of legwork to be done, but I'll tell you why that might be beneficial in a second. Once you guys accept that appraisal on their website, basically you get a few electronic documents to sign that basically just state that you're agreeing to sell the vehicle to Vroom and that all the information you entered on the website to get that appraisal is correct, stuff like that. But the next day they will overnight you some physical contract documents to go ahead and sign that basically state some of the similar things that you're wanting to sell your vehicle to Vroom. Everything is accurate. Might ask for the odometer reading, everything like that. Now once you get that physical contract completed, you'll need to overnight it back to Vroom with a few things. You need to include the title if you have it in your possession. You need to include one of the two key fobs, granted you have two, and a couple other documents I can't exactly remember, but some of the other documents that it asks for in that contract, it's all laid out in the paperwork itself, so it'll tell you what you need to send back with that overnight package. So once they receive the physical contract back overnighted, they will then arrange to pick up the vehicle via a carrier. This might take a couple of days to do because it is outsourced, so that might be a couple of days between you sending the contract with the title and the keys back. I know it is a little scary that you're basically sending your title away before you're getting paid for your vehicle, but I assure you everything went smoothly in our transactions. So once the carrier is selected, basically you can arrange to pick up the vehicle anywhere you want. You can have it done at your house. In our case, we have a regional auto auction location that carriers frequently travel from Chicago to here. It's about a 3-hour drive. So we chose to meet him out there given that he was already going to be out there anyway. It's only a few miles away, so it's not a big deal. But basically once you meet with the carrier, you're going to sign a bill of lading. He's going to give you that. He's also just going to check over the vehicle. You give him the other key fob. Basically he just takes possession of the vehicle. And once you get that bill of lading from the carrier, you basically need to submit that to Vroom really as soon as possible if you want your payment as soon as possible. You basically submit that to Vroom. That tells them that the vehicle is in the carrier's possession and that basically the process on the consumer side of things is completed. So after you submit that bill of lading, they will send payment overnight to you via check within 24 to 48 hours. I think we actually got ours. We sent the bill of lading in the afternoon, and we actually got the payment the next day. So that is super cool. Now you might be wondering how the overall process took in terms of a timeline, and I think I'm happy to say that from start to finish, it took 12 days to complete the online appraisal on their website to getting the physical check in hand. And this was actually started on a weekend and ended on a weekend as well. So I think 12 days, considering all the kind of logistical things that go on, isn't too bad. And I think it went very smoothly in our case. There was no real hiccups or anything like that. Everything went smoothly, and I think that's why it took close to the least amount of days as possible. Now, it might depend on your location and everything like that. I don't know if you can drive your vehicle to any location to just get a check on hand from Vroom, because I know they do have a headquarters down in Texas. But basically, 12 days start to finish, online appraisal to getting the check in hand. So I thought that was pretty impressive. Now you guys might be wondering, what if you're financing your vehicle or anything like that? Well, you can still sell your car to Vroom, but Vroom will go ahead and deal with the whoever has the financing or the loan on the vehicle, so they can go ahead and pay it off first, given you're not underwater on your loan or anything like that. Once they pay off the loan, you'll basically get a check for the difference in the mail or something like that. I have talked to a couple people who have sold their leases at the end of the term to Vroom and actually come out with a $1,000 or $1,500 check because the Vroom was willing to pay more than the buyout. So that's pretty interesting, and another thing to consider if you guys want to sell your car to Vroom like that. That is a lease. But yeah, that's basically the process in a nutshell. I think it's overall been the same for a lot of people I've talked to who have used Vroom. So hopefully that gives you guys a little bit better understanding of the process. Now, in terms of why we went to Vroom or sold the vehicle to Vroom versus the competition, here's why. Simply because Vroom was substantially higher in terms of an offer versus dealerships and even like the KBB instant cash offer and even Carvana, which Carvana didn't even have an offer for the G70. So here's are some of the numbers in terms of what was offered on the car and what Vroom offered on the car. So starting with Carvana, Carvana didn't even have an offer. Their system would not even spit out a number on the website. It just basically said, your car has stumped our algorithm and we have no offer at this time. Dealerships range from $32,000 to $35,500 on that car. Again, this car had about 4,000 miles on it, so it was a little over a year old, had about 4,000 miles, so it was in basically pristine condition. TrueCar said the vehicle was worth between $34,000 to $37,000, and I think that is a pretty good estimate by TrueCar. The KBB cash offer was just over $33,000, $33,120 at the time. And we do not have a CarMax locally, so we couldn't get a CarMax appraisal on the vehicle. But knowing those numbers, Vroom came in at $37,100 and some dollars. But basically, that was by far the highest because the next highest offer was $35,500 from a dealership. So it was about $1,600 higher of an offer. So it's kind of like a no-brainer to me that you'd want to take a $1,600 higher offer. So there you have some of the numbers in terms of why we went with Vroom. Once the car got to Vroom, it actually went to a Manheim auction lot. I'm believing that is where they store their vehicles that are for sale on their website. But it went to a Manheim auction lot in the Chicago area, and they marked it up to $40,440, I believe. And that is what the car ended up selling for. The new owner of the G70 could be watching this video, but he reached out to me a few weeks ago and said that the car has been working flawlessly. So yeah, that is great to hear because the car definitely gave us some issues, but I think a lot of them had been fixed by the time the car was sent off to Vroom. So Vroom had about what would that be? A little over $3,300 margin in that car. So after all their expenses and everything, you figure between $2,500 and $3,000, something like that, is the profit they made on that car, which isn't that far off from some dealerships, to be honest. So I think that shows that Vroom has a very large potential of disrupting the normal dealership market. I think they already have in some ways with these offers that are so high above the dealerships. But there you guys go. There is the process with selling the 2019 Genesis G70 to Vroom. If you guys have any questions, please leave them down in the comments below and I will do my best to answer them. Make sure you guys stay tuned to the channel because we recently sold another vehicle to Carvana. So I'm going to go ahead and create a video of a compare and contrast between the two because they are very different if you want to sell your vehicle to them, because Vroom takes 12 days or so. Carvana can take substantially less depending on where you're located and everything like that. Make sure you stick around for that. Once again, hit that like button if you guys found this video helpful. And as always, I'll see you guys in the next video.